What's up, everybody? I'm the free-to-play Padawan. I love Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but I hate spending money on mobile games. And I believe that you can dominate this game without even spending a dime. Even though this Hyperdrive bundle is on a really good sale right now, we are still holding off and not going for it. We're sticking with the free-to-play way, and I'm here to show you guys how to do that. Hello to everybody in the chat. We already got Jesselyn in the chat. We got Joseph Wolno, Beskar Wool. I guess you're saying that is your Discord tag, so I know who you are. Good to see you, man. And we got Night Snipe in the chat. What's up, man? Night Snipe. We're going to be doing your alternate account roster spotlight today, so stick around if you're able to. Joseph says, we're back and the game is working. It is, you guys. This is good news. Last week, I'm going to try to learn from my mistakes that I made last week. But this week is a new week. No mistakes yet. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but I don't believe in jinxes. I think this is going to be a great stream, and you guys are already here supporting me, even though we had all that trouble last week, but that's all right. We are here, and we are still pushing through. Now, for those of you guys who are new, if this is your first Padawan stream, if this is your first Padawan video, why I am doing this video series is I want to show that you can play this game without spending any money and still do well. I'm showing my entire journey from level 1, day 1. This is day 177 today. And the teams that we farmed, the ships that we farmed, our strategies that we're using, the way that we're modding these characters, everything that we're focusing on. And today, we have a very exciting addition to the roster. Sun Fac is getting his relic, finally. I put Relic Spy first, my first relic, and then Soldier was next, and that's primarily for fleet, but it's also for Soldier's speed in Squad Arena. And Sun Fac is next. This is almost exclusively for fleet. Sun Fac does a great job on the Geo team at Gear 12. He doesn't even need a lot of these extra pieces, but this is going to be to make his ship even more tanky. He's going to be thicker than a Snicker, you guys. It's going to be awesome. We got DOG in the chat saying, hello. 2 minutes in, no mistakes yet. That's good. Positive attitude, man. Positive attitude. So let's get into this Sun Fac relic, you guys. I've had this piece of gear for about 24 hours, and I've held off because I wanted to do it on stream. So let's do it today just for a second. Let's talk about this. This piece of gear is incredibly expensive, but look at what it does for your character. This is the finisher. Every character that goes to Gear 13 has this piece of gear right there. Right here is the most expensive piece of gear. You have 100 Chirotechs. You have 50 pieces right here. You have 50 pieces right here and 50 pieces right here. And if you guys are just starting off the game and you're getting frustrated at these 20 pieces of gear to craft a single piece, just remember that this is what's coming. But this, look at all that it does for you. It gives him 4,000 health, 50 strength, 8 speed in one piece of gear is incredible. Extra physical damage, extra armor, extra resistance, extra armor penetration, physical critical chance, and tenacity. This is an incredible piece of gear. So even though it's expensive, it is super worth it to put it on. And let's take him up to relics. We got Duran in the chat also. And we got Baby Yoda in the chat, man. We got everybody rolling into this stream today. Alright, so we got Relic 0 on our Sun Fac, and let's see if we can do some work and take him up a little bit. We have some of those, so we'll be able to do this. Now let's see what he's going to get. He's going to get a little bit of mastery, and he's going to get health and protection and such. I'm not really concerned about his damage, although I have considered modding him for damage just because he doesn't need much else to be effective. Right now I have him modded for survivability, which is great when I tank with him. But ideally you're not going to want to tank with Sun Fac as much as you're tanking with the Brute, because the Brute is replaceable and Sun Fac is not. So we just have some, this is the physical category. We've got damage, critical chance, and armor. This is the special category, damage and resistance. So let's take him up a tier. This is also going to make his ship stronger when we put these relics on him. Now that first relic is really cheap. This next relic is also really cheap, so let's go ahead and do that. And I want to see what this does to his ship. Barini says, thicker than a Snicker. What an opener for me. Hey, Padawan, hope you're doing fine. I'm doing great, Barini. You guys, it is Wednesday. In the States, we have Thanksgiving tomorrow. They let us out of work 30 minutes early today, so that just put a great spin on the whole weekend. I have tomorrow off, I have Friday off, and the whole weekend, so I'm super excited, you guys. I am super excited. Baby Yoda says, won't be in chat for long, but still watching. Glad to have you, man, and it's good to hear that you will be lurking. I love lurkers. If you are a lurker, shout out to you guys. All right, so let's see what happens to a ship, because I'm doing this almost exclusively for his ship. The relics are going to be for his ship. I don't necessarily need the character to go faster. So where's the button? The stats. I want him to be thick. I want him to have extra defense. All right, let's see. Health and protection. So right now, he has, wow, this is quite a lot. He has almost 100,000 health and almost 70,000 protection. And that's primarily what I want him to have. I wonder how much his armor is going to go up. So his armor's at 45. Health and protection sitting at, we'll say 170. 168. All right, so let's go ahead and put the rest of the relics on. Let's not belabor the point here. We're going to take him to Relic 4. That is my efficient fleet relic level there. I feel like if you take him to Relic 4, if you want to do it just for fleets, Relic 4 is the sweet spot, because it still doesn't cost that much to get it, but it gives you 4 relic levels worth of boost on your ship. So let's go take a look at his ship now. We were sitting at 168,000 health and protection. Let's see what we're up to now. Okay, so he really didn't get that much more survivability from 3 extra relic levels. He got, what is he at? 173? A little less than 173, so about 5,000 health and protection. And his armor went from 45, it stayed at 45, so it went up less than a percentage in armor. You guys, the more that I upgrade these ships, these pilots, to relic, the more I'm thinking maybe the relics do not have as big of an impact on the ship as I was thinking before. We're going to keep figuring this out as we go and learning about this. We talked about this before, what things make the ship better. And let's check the chat real quick before we continue. Dioge's asking, are the Geos ever used in the sea pit? I don't think so, man. I think the Geos are poo-poo in the sea pit. I don't think they're any good. I mean, if they were good, maybe it'd be worth taking them in Relic 5, but that's why I'm leaving them at Relic 4. And I want to take them to Relic 4 for ships, but also because I want to see if I can get 4 out of 4 in the Dark Side Geonosis territory battles in Phase 4. We're not going to get to Phase 4 in our guild for a little while because we're doubling down on Phase 1 to try to get as many stars as possible. But I want to have a Geo team that's functional all the way to the end, so we'll see how that goes. So these relics are not going to be wasted. They're good in Grand Arena. It's good for the fleet a little bit, I guess. It feels like when you use a ship that's relic versus a ship that's not relic, the relic ship feels stronger. But, yeah, Night Snipe is saying 2K protection. Yeah, Baby Yoda saying that 6-dot mods help on ships, and that's what I wanted to talk about. One of the things I have on the docket for the stream today, and I put this in the title, is I want to make my fleet stronger. We're running into mostly malevolences in our shard, and I'm committed to keeping Tarkin as my capital ship until we reach the 1-year mark for the account, and we're not even quite yet to the 6th month. So we have 6 more months of using Tarkin against negotiators and malevolences, so I want to make my Tarkin fleet as good as possible. If you look here, I've got 2 of his mods to 6-dot, but I have 4 of his mods that are not 6-dot. And so that's the next target for my 3 main ships. I've got Geonosian Soldier, Geonosian Spy, and Sun Fac as my starting 3 ships. They're all relicked. Spy is at Relic 5, who's right here. Soldier is at Relic 4, and Sun Fac is now Relic 4. but none of their mods are 6 dots yet. And yeah, Baby Yoda is clarifying that 6 dot mods give extra power to your ship, but it doesn't matter what color the 6 dot mods are. Whether they're E through A, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the fact that there's 6 dots instead of 5. But if we look here on Spies mods, I have only taken 2 of Spies mods to 6 dot because this is not the mod set that I want to run on Spy. This is just what I happen to have. But for the sake of Fleet, I need to find 6 mods on Spy that I'm happy to take to 6 dots because it's going to make his ship better. So let's just talk about briefly, what can you do to the pilot to make the ship better? And let's stick with Sun Fac because that's who we're working on today. The first thing you can do is upgrade all of their abilities to the maximum. Now the caveat to that is if they have a Zeta ability and you take it to tier 8 to get their Zeta, it's not going to give them any more power than an Omega ability at tier 8. The ship doesn't care how much it costs you to get to ability level 8. It only cares how many level 8 abilities you have. So keep that in mind. If you're upgrading a character just for fleets, then Zetas are not worth it because they cost so much to get a small increase. But we have his abilities up to 8 all across the board because they were all Omegas, no Zetas. And then the next thing you can do, obviously, is put gear on your character. For every piece of gear you put on your pilot, they get stronger. And the tier 10 pieces of gear give more power to your ship than the tier 9 pieces of gear. But once again, the ship doesn't care about how expensive the piece of gear is. It only cares about how many pieces of gear 10 do you have, or how many pieces of gear 11 do you have. So if you're trying to make your pilot stronger, but you don't want to put that stun gun on him, then if there's another piece of gear that's easier for you to put on, it will give him the same amount of power as that stun gun will. But once again, in this case, we've got Sun Fac all the way up to Relic. Relics are another thing that will add more power to your ship, but you guys just saw it's not earth-shattering how much power they add to your ship. So take them up to the Relic that is cheap and efficient for you to do, but don't take them any higher than that. Now, if there's somebody like Jedi Knight Anakin, who's a great pilot, but also a fantastic character, Relic 7, that bad boy, I mean, you want him at Relic 7, you need him at Relic 7 for at least one Galactic Legend, if not more. He's great in the Padme team. Vader is another one. He's great Relic character, so there's no reason not to put those extra relics on him for his character. But if we're talking about primarily for fleets, you want to upgrade the relics. I would say to Relic 4 would be a relatively cheap place to stop. And then your mods. For every 5-dot level 15 mod you have, your ship gets a certain amount of power. Once again, it does not care what the stats are on those mods. It only cares that it's a 5-dot mod at level 15. And the same thing with 6-dot mods. If you got 6-dot mods, for every 6-dot mod you have, the ship gets a little bit more power. So just remember that the ships don't care about specifics. They only care about how many you have, how many pieces of gear, how many level 8 abilities, how many 5-dot mods or 6-dot mods will add to your ship's power. So let's take a look at our fleet. We know we have an opportunity to upgrade the mods on our top 3 pilots. Besides that, we're not going to go super crazy with Ahsoka or Anakin right now. And Plo Koon is kind of filling his role even at this low gear level. I think this is gear 10. So the next big opportunity for me, for my fleet, is to get this Houndstooth fully up and running with good mods and gear on Bossk and go ahead and finish out the stars. And then also my Executrix, my Tarkin is gear 11. I think I'm going to take him at least up to gear 12 plus 4. And then once I get this last star on him, that'll help as well. But I'm just trying to see what can I do with the ships that I'm using. These are still my main 3 ships. And you guys saw last stream, we got our Vulture Droid. Where you at, baby girl? Do I have all these? Yeah, I have all these ships marked. Our Vulture Droid is at 7 stars, level 85. And there's no pilot for this, so we don't have to worry about mods, relics, Zetas, anything like that. We will put this piece of this ability on eventually, but this only works if the capital ship is Separatist, which is General Grievous. And since we're not using Grievous, we're not going to worry about that ability right now. Well, let's go ahead and do a fleet battle, because one of the things I try to do on my streams is I show kind of a day in the life of a free-to-play player. What can I do to get the biggest payout possible for my account? The more stuff I have coming in, the more characters I can relic, the more mods I can farm, the more credits I have, the more crystals I have. I can do what I want to do in this game because I have stuff coming in. All right, so let's just talk about each thing as we do it. This is a fleet battle in the fleet arena. We're fighting against the Malevolence, and this is a unusual starting 3, but this is a starting 3 you're going to see in a lot of situations, maybe under a different capital ship. But whenever Bossk is on the field, you do not want to do any AoE attacks. You have a target in mind. I've got Spy's big attack, but Spy's not ready to go yet. So I want to make sure I can attack who I want with Spy, and I want to attack Soldier. Anytime you see Geos on the field, Soldier should be your primary target. So if you want to attack Soldier, you're going to have to put damage on Bossk with a single target ability with your capital ship. The reason for that is because Bossk gets turn meter for every time you hit somebody other than him. And if he gets turn meter, he's going to taunt, and then we have to attack him. So let's put our big attack on Soldier. Just like we wanted, we got him out of there. Now it's 3 versus 2, which in fleets, if you can get it to 3 versus 2, it's always good for you. Let's go ahead and put our damage on Bossk. Alright, so now the Malevolence has summoned a Vulture Droid that is, I guess you could say it is an imaginary ship. We don't actually have to kill it in order to win the battle. Let's go ahead and get a ship in here. We're going to bring in our 7-star Vulture Droid. Okay, now with this, in this situation, we want to use Vulture Droid's ability to put buff immunity on the Houndstooth. Well, then we just insta-killed him. But buff immunity is a #1 way to kill Houndstooth because he doesn't get his purple protection when he gets hit. All right, here comes Spy. Now, Spy is a high priority target, but Spy will stealth whenever you hit him. So you want to make sure you only hit him with strong hits. And Sun Fac's basic is not a strong hit. Here's a big strong hit. Let's do it. And there goes Spy, and the imaginary ship goes away, and we win. So there's our first fleet battle, everybody. That gets us to rank 5. Our goal for today is rank 2. Our buddy, Nubian Benub. I say it's our buddy, but we don't know him. He went ahead and bought the Executor, you guys. Oh my gosh, day 177 of this account, which means that this fleet shard is less than 150 days old. Less than 150 days, and he's already got an Executor. So he gets to stay #1 pretty much forever. And that's just the way that goes. We will be able to dethrone him someday, but today is not that day. All right, you guys. So let's do some more dailies. Let's see what we got in the squad arena. We did pretty well today. We got rank 26 in the squad arena. Getting close to that rank 20 mark. One of our friends, Roger, threw down the gauntlet, and he said, I'm getting above rank 20 now with my Padme team. Can you do it with your Geo team? He didn't say, can you do it with your Geo team? But that's what I heard him say. When he was excited about getting rank 20, I'm like, man, I want to get rank 20. And so I've been pushing for it. I haven't got it yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close. Okay, Dog says, stream science, I like it. Thank you, Dog. Jesselyn Spell says, Fulcrum. Oh, such a big Fulcrum fan. Brian Thompson, hello, everyone. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. Buddy from work. Dog says, murdered him. Yeah, we got luck. We got lucky in that fleet battle. We had a lot of good RNG, but the Malevolences have been giving us trouble. But now that we have a Relic Sun Fac, maybe it will be easier. Intimidation is here. Ha! Action Jackson is in my squad shard. Nice. Yeah, in Timmy too. Intimidation's alternate account started like right at the same time as us, so a lot of our people are in the same groups. Viesla's in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. And Intimidation says, sup. Good to see you too, my friend. I'm having a great day. I'm getting to stream and things are going well. All right, so That was our squad. We started our fleet. Let's jump into shipments. All right, now as you guys can see, there's a lot of tabs at the top, a lot of different stores, a lot of different currencies. We're just gonna go through them one at a time like we always do. If it's for credits, if it's gear for credits in this first shop, you wanna buy them every time. It doesn't matter if you need them or not, you will need them at some point. This tab right here, we just skip it. It's for spending crystals. And even though we have crystals to spend, most of these things are things that you can farm in other ways. Treya, we're farming in other ways. Malik, wow, you can buy Malik with crystals? I didn't even know about this. Wow, this is weird. Man, I never checked this store. You can buy gas with crystals? What is going on with this store? People can just straight up buy gas and Malik? Wow, this is surprising. I wonder how far you can take that. I wonder if you can unlock him with crystals. If there are any whales watching and you're trying to finish off Malik, there you go. There's your opportunity. Well, the crystal, you guys can tell I don't normally check that shipment. Cantina Battle Store, we do not have enough currency. We need 400 currency, but in this store we are buying Cassian's U-Wing. One, because it's a very good reinforcement ability with this ship, but two, because it's the best shard shop currency option in this store. Now we've already farmed Stormtrooper Han, we've already farmed Chopper, we've farmed Ahsoka, we've farmed Boba Fett and Fives, and Old Daka, along with First Order Officer. So we've gotten most of the characters out of this store that we want, so our focus is now turning towards shard shop currency. The guild store, we are buying Colonel Stark, and you guys can see today we finished him up, 330 shards for Colonel Stark. So we need to decide who we're gonna farm next. Paploo is for the Ewoks. I want to get him out of the cantina. I'm thinking I'm gonna go for Jyn Erso. Because to my knowledge, this is the only place you can get Jyn from, and she is a pilot for the Cassian's U-Wing. So we're gonna need to at least get her unlocked to activate this ship and get our shard shop currency from this farm. So today I'm gonna go ahead and snag Jyn, but I'll have to consult my list and see if that's the best choice moving forward. And we're looking at this gear in the guild store. The guild store, most of your currency should be going towards gear. There's a lot of characters to unlock in this store, and I early on made the mistake of spending too much of this currency on characters and not enough of it on gear. So I'm changing my focus. I'm only farming one character at a time out of this store, putting the rest of it on gear. Now there's 3 pieces of gear here, 3 slots. The way these stores work is that they have slots that have a similar theme every time, but they change out what's in them. These 3 slots here, to the left of young Han Solo and above him, these 3 slots are always cheap gear, 150, 200, 100. And I try to keep a baseline of 50 of each of these pieces of gear. As long as I've got 50, I don't buy any of that. If you need any of this gear up here, this is what this currency is for. I like to buy these Mark III holo projectors from here. I don't need to buy stun cuffs from here anymore because of the wonderful gear changes that CG made for us. And then Mark VI droid collars are another really good thing to buy out of here. And that's that stupid Mark IV back to gel. I'm gonna hold off on that, but I need so much of that. I get frustrated with that. In this store, I'm going for prestige. There's a lot of good characters in this shop, but once you get all the characters you want out of this shop, you want to go for prestige pretty much for the rest of time. You cannot have too much of this right here, especially early game. And in this store, we are going for any ship that we already have 7 stars for the shard shop currency. Ships give you a little more shard shop currency than the characters do. We finished out our Imperial TIE Fighter farm out of here. So I, once again, need to consult my list. I think I decided I'm going to be going for Zam. I really want to get Zam someday, and the only other place to get her, as far as I know, is the guild store. And I'm trying to buy gear with the guild store currency if I can. So many farms we've already completed. TIE Fighter Pilot is done. Ahsoka's done. Soldier's done. Rex is done. You guys, this is going so well. Soldier ship, TIE fighter ship, Plo Koon ship, all out of this store. So much good stuff. Once we get everything that we want out of this store, which is going to take probably a year and a half, then we can start buying Zetas. But look, guys, we got 2 Zetas worth of stuff we can apply today. Maybe we can talk about what kind of Zetas we can put on tonight. This shop, this guild event currency, this is called Get 1. Get 1, we're saving for gas. We're going to be using this to unlock gas. As you can see here, once you complete his event, this lock goes away, and you can spend this currency on shards for gas or Malik. It's the same way. Whenever you complete Malik's event, this lock goes away, and you can spend it on Malik. So that's exclusively what we're using this for, and this Get 2 currency, Guild Event 2 tokens, we're using that to buy Malevolent shards, and we do not have enough. Grand Arena, you guys, it's not coming back till like mid-December. It's craziness. So we're going to be low on this currency for a long time. And our Shock Parade salvage farm is going to be put to a stop. So just take a look real quick here. I've only got these 4 shards to convert. It's going to give me 152 of this currency. If this were 10 character shards, it would give me 150 of this currency. So that's why when I can buy ships to exchange for this currency, I would prefer to do so, because you can buy 4 ships or 10 character shards for the same amount of currency, and the 4 ships give you 2 more currency than the other. It's 2, but it's something. We'll take it. And then here on this store, this is the shard store, the last store we have any currency for. We go down to the Mark II pulse modulator, and we look to the left, and we try to keep a baseline of 40 of each of these pieces. And we have 21 of that, so we're going to farm that. And we don't have any of this currency. Now, speaking of this currency, you guys, something very important. I saw a forum post today, just before the stream, and they said that they were going to undo what they did in the last conquest. If you remember, in the last conquest, I said that easy mode was the way to go because you spent 20 energy on a node and you got 20 currency, 20 of this currency for every node that you completed. And so we got hundreds and hundreds of this currency in the last conquest on easy mode. But guess what? They're going to change it now. They're going to make it to where easy mode only costs 15 energy now. But you know how much conquest currency you're going to get? Instead of 20 conquest currency, you're going to get 5. You're going to get 5. That's from 20 down to 5. The energy went from 20 energy to 15 energy, but the currency went from 20 to 5. So I was going to do easy mode conquest simply for this currency, but not anymore. The easy mode is only going to be worth 5 per node. That's 25% of what it was before. It's crazy. So I'm going to be trying to do the what is it? Normal mode. Normal mode is only going to give you 10. It's still not as much as easy mode gave you last time, but it's still more than the easy mode. I don't know. I'll have to do some math. Maybe if I make it a lot further in easy mode, then the 5 per node would be better than the 10 per node in the normal mode. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I'm kind of disappointed about that because I was excited about getting a lot of this currency so that I could farm this Razor Crest. I was getting the Razor Crest out of here, or Cat if you were going for Cat shards, but they decided they were giving way too much of this currency to early game players and they wanted to hold back on it. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. Intimidation says you still have to beat their events. Aha, yep, of course you're right. It's locked. So there we go. This is if you've already beaten their events. Thank you for saying that. Sorry it took me this long to say it. Intimidation, but to get 6 to 7 stars with crystals instead of get 1. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck to have to do that. Cole Morgan, I believe you have to unlock the character before you can buy with crystals. Indeed, you guys are right. I should have looked at the chat while we were going through. Yeah, Brian Thompson says that's horrible. It is horrible. And to be honest with you guys, I was blown away that it was like that last time. I was super excited. If you remember, I told you, don't even worry about the crates in easy mode. Just get as high as you can on the nodes, because the nodes is where the money's at that currency per node. I remember I spent like an additional 150 crystals or something to get the red box in easy mode instead of the yellow box, and the rewards were like complete garbage compared to just the currency you were getting from each node. So it's fun to be able to use like your whole roster in the easy mode, but I would say don't even worry about the feats if you do easy mode and you can't quite make it to the end because you're trying to get all the feats or whatever. Don't worry about what crate you get, just get as many of the nodes complete as possible to get that currency. Alright, Jesselyn, calm down with the spamming. Jesselyn says Fulcrum a million times. Calm down, Jesselyn, calm down. Alright, you guys, so let's do another fleet battle. Rank 5, 4 battles remaining. Night Snipe says, sorry, but I'm gonna leave. That's cool, man. Good to see it. You can check out your roster spotlight a little later. Just real quick before you go, tell us all what your favorite character is on your alternate account, and we will make sure that we focus on that character, or your favorite team while we're doing your roster review. Thank you for dropping into the stream, my friend. All right, rank 2. Who's at rank 2? Roger, our good buddy. Rank 2 is what we're shooting for. And I hope you do get a good night's sleep. Mr. Night Snipe. Lord Snipe, as you're called in the Discord. Alright, Roger has been working on his Malevolence fleet. It is looking good. Now, since there is no Houndstooth in the starting 3, we can use the AoE without any issue. Leah is asking, do you need to 3-star a node to get the conquest currency? The answer is no. You do not need to 3-star the node to get the currency. So that is definitely going to factor in when it comes to normal mode. Maybe we can get high enough in normal mode to make it worth it. Even if we're not 3-starring nodes, we'll still be getting the currency. But it just breaks my heart, you guys, that I was looking at getting tons of that currency in easy mode and definitely making it to the end because it's easy mode, but not anymore. All right, so we're about to lose our spy. I don't know if there's anything we can do to stop that, but we might as well use his big ability before we lose him. All right, good taunt, Sun Fac. Oh, we lost Sun Fac. Oh, and then we lost spy. Oh no, this is not good. Roger, you're killing us, man. You're killing us. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Okay. All right. Well, let's bring in. Gosh, if we're bringing in Plo, we're gonna die for sure. I think we've just lost this one. Let's see here. What can we figure out? We're gonna bring in Ahsoka. Ahsoka will cleanse these overcharge. This overcharge is getting them a lot of extra offense. So she'll cleanse it from this ship. And then Sun Fac will taunt and we'll cleanse it from Sun Fac. I don't think there's any way we could save this fight. Maybe we'll get better luck next time. Oh, I should have cleansed. That was a misplay. That was a misplay. Hang in there, Ahsoka. Let's give Ahsoka some turn meter. Now she can cleanse. Yep. Alright, that's alright. We'll try again in a minute. In that case, the Relic Sun Fac did not save us from Roger's fleet. Alright, Night Snipe says, let's see what he says. About my ult, I stopped a little while ago because it was too much. That was too much work when school started, and First Order was amazing. I'm at school. Okay, so we will, if you've actually stopped the account, we might just go ahead and move on to another roster spotlight, just so that we don't spend time on an account that's no longer active. But you did say the First Order was amazing. Maybe we'll just take a little peek at it and give a final salute to your First Order as you go on and focus on the main account. And I found the same thing to be true, you guys. If you were trying to do 2 accounts, at one time I was trying to do 3 accounts, it's very time consuming. It's better to try to do 1 account well than to do 2 or 3 accounts kind of mediocre. Okay, so we might not be getting rank 2 if Roger gets us that bad every time. We're gonna try a couple more times though. All right, let's collect some of these dailies. All right, let's do some challenges. I love the gear we get from these, you guys. Look at this. 18 stun guns. So good. And 21 golden eyeballs. So good, you guys. So good. And let's do the fleet challenges. And then we're going to... We're not going to do our Galactic War yet, because I'm going to do a little bit of stuff with the roster spotlight with that. So we're going to hold the Galactic War for now. Let's spend some energy. Let's spend some energy. Today is a special event for the fleet energy, right? Double drops on fleet? Yeah, double drops on fleet. We're in the anniversary celebration right now. So this is how we spend our crystals, you guys. We buy energy refreshes with them. And as you can see, we are earning crystals at a slightly higher rate than we're spending them. And I'm trying to stockpile a little bit for the next thing that happens. I buy 3 regular energy refreshes, 1 Cantina refresh, 3 mod energy refreshes, and 3 fleet energy refreshes. And this way we have tons of energy to go out and farm all kinds of stuff that we want. Brian Thompson says you can always spotlight my account. Well, I'm not sure. You're right. You're right, my friend. I'm not sure who's next on the list. Let's see. Let's see. That's not right. So this is a moment I can say that if anybody's watching and you're not in the Discord, there's a link in the description to join the Discord, and there's a channel on there called Roster Spotlight Requests. You go on that channel, you put your ally code, and we will take a look at your roster and just kind of show everybody what you're doing. And hopefully you can be on stream to say how you like what you're doing, what your favorite stuff is, and we could just shine a spotlight on your account. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I think that Whable is the next one on the list, so we will take a look at his roster when it comes time for the roster spotlight. And for now, let's go ahead and spend this energy, because it drives me crazy to have it maxed out like that. When your energy is maxed out like this, you're not earning any free energy. It's just sitting there. And the free energy is like where it's at. Brian Thompson says, I think Jesselyn really likes Fulcrum. Avisla agrees. Yeah, Jesselyn's got to put her roster back on the list so that we can take a look and see how her Fulcrum is doing. All right, we're actually going to go ahead and unselect Sun Fac because he is to the Relic level we want him to be. Congratulations, Sun Fac. All right, let's look at our squads. We are looking at our current farms. Here we go. This has been recently updated. We are farming Scion because of, no thank you, because of this ship. Now obviously Scion is amazing and we want him. And we're getting Treya passively from the guild that we're part of, participating in that raid. But this ship, we need it for the finalizer fleet. So I've already farmed it 3 times. So out of 2 more times, we got 1 out of 2. That's not bad. All right, who's next? We're farming Droidica as a bonus, but we're farming Cad Bane's ship once again for the finalizer. 2 attempts on that. We've already done 3, so we only had 2 left. All right, Jesselyn said she put it on. Excellent, Jesselyn, excellent. All right, we're farming the Houndstooth. We already have Django to 7 stars, but the Houndstooth is not. So Django shards that we get now are just going to go straight into the shard shop, and we're farming Bossk. We're getting kind of close to Bossk. He's at 26 out of 100. And when we get him to 7 stars, that's going to be exciting. 4 shards for Bossk today. Very nice. Very nice. And then we like to farm 5 hard farms, and I only have 4 listed because the final one we like to farm is the Hyena Bomber, and it does not have a character associated with it. I believe it's Dark Side. It's not that high. Here it is. The Hyena Bomber, 5 times. Come on, baby. 1. 1 is about average. 1 is about average. And then we're going to take the rest of that energy and throw it at some gear. All right, we're farming Chirpa in the Cantina. 16 Chirpa shards today, you guys. Money. All right, in the mod battles, we are farming the stuff we need to get our pilots mods to 6 dots. So that's this yellow stuff right here. And we'll farm the rest of that. You do not get as much of this as you get of this. This only costs 12 energy, and they seem to drop at a higher rate. This right here costs 14 energy, and they just don't seem to drop that high. So these are necessary to farm if you're trying to get your mods to 6 dot, which is highly recommended. If you have good mods, you want to take them to 6 dot because that makes all your stats better, and it gives you a chance to take your secondary stats even higher than before. We're doing it primarily for our pilots at this point. All right, and now our fleet farms. I don't think we have a tab for the fleet farms, so we just remember that we're farming one thing out of the first zone. Already farmed Anakin, so he is farmed up for the day. We're farming one thing out of zone 2. That's the Boba Fett ship. 2 shards for Boba Fett, I love it. And we're farming 2 things out of zone 5, which is Shaak Ti and Roger Roger. Come on, double drops. Treat us right. 12 shards for Shaak Ti, you guys. That's awesome. That is awesome. That means that out of 5 battles, 3 of them hit for Shaak Ti, and then that was doubled. Nice. Very nice. All right, and for Roger Roger, 8. So that's a good day. 8 for Roger Roger and 12 for Shaak Ti. Excellent. And then we have all this leftover fleet energy for gear. Brian Thompson says, how big of a difference to ships does it make having 6 dot mods make? Well, we could find that out together. Because I'm going to put some 6 dot mods on Sun Fac. We can see what kind of effect we saw what the relics do. Let's see what the mods do. But let's finish spending our energy first. I'm trying to get Poggle to gear 12. Now that we have Sun Fac to his relic, trying to get Poggle to gear 12 because he is just so squishy. So with the regular energy, I believe, no, we can put the fleet energy towards this as well. Let's do the fleet energy. 2! Oh, guys, that was 20 battles on double drops, and it only gave us 2. Dang it. Oh, my goodness. Well, I guess we better use the regular energy as well. 3, we got more from the regular energy, which is not double drops. Hey, sometimes gear farming just sucks. Sometimes it just sucks. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's jump in here and do another fleet battle, and hopefully Roger Roger won't kick our butt again. And then in between, we will throw those mods on Sun Fac and see what it does to his ship. All right, you guys, same fleet. We're gonna open up with the AoE and hope better things happen. We are gonna hope better things happen. All right, now, it's not Roger Roger's fault if we don't get rank 2. It's our job to be able to beat this fleet with Tarkin. If we can't do this, then I can't tell you guys that it's possible, all right? So just remember that I believe this is possible. Sometimes I have trouble. All right, so we're gonna open up with the AoE. Hopefully get some ability blocks. We got 1 ability block. That is a good ability block. Already we've had 2 pieces of RNG go way better for us. Piece number 1, the buzz droids did not also give the buff immunity. The buff immunity would keep Spy from going in stealth, and Spy went into stealth, which meant that he was not the target of the next attack. The second bit of RNG that we had go right is that the AoE from Tarkin got an ability block on Hyena Bomber, and if you can get ability block on Hyena Bomber, then he won't do his AoE and put buzz droids on everybody. So already things are going well. Now, we have an opportunity to get a clutch stun, but if we stun anybody, the malevolence is probably just going to dispel it. So I say let's just put some work on Sun Fac without using the stun, and let's put a big hit on Sun Fac, and hopefully this finishes them off. All right, there's 1 tank down, and our Sun Fac is hanging in. Once again, we're gonna hold off on the stun. Now, ideally, we want to get, okay, that was a good dodge. So that's more good RNG for us. Ideally, we want to get Plo Koon in and get these buzz droids off of Spy, so that Spy is no longer gets mass assisted by everybody. Because just so you guys know, the way the Malevolence fleet destroys you beyond recognition is that the Vulture droids all assist whenever anybody damages somebody with Buzz droids. And right now there's 2 Vulture droids. Here in a minute there's probably about to be 3 Vulture droids, and that's this huge mass assist anytime anybody with Buzz droids is attacked. So if you can get the Buzz droids off, that is way better for your fleet. So let's go ahead. We're going to bring in Plo. Plo is going to cleanse everybody on our team. Now when you cleanse Buzz droids, it turns into ability block. This is unavoidable. This is just how Buzz droids work. So right now, Spy's ability block, which is unfortunate because his big hit is on cooldown, but that's all right. So Plo Koon is going to give everybody turn meter. Here comes their Spy, and there goes Plo. Well, Plo did his job. He came in, he got rid of the Buzz droids, and he gave the team turn meter. Let's go ahead and get a stun here. Now, right now, Spy is taunting, which means that he can't go stealth because he's taunting. We're probably going to lose Spy here. Let's keep working on their tank. All right, turn meter for our team. Right now, our core 3 is still alive. This should take out their tank. Probably should have gone for Spy there. All right, we're going to put this big hit on Spy while we have a chance. Ooh, that was good. That was good damage. Almost killed him. See, here comes another Buzz droid. So now there's 3 Buzz droids on the field. We're going to put this on Spy and hope that Soldier assists. Got it. So now this is the only ship left. There we go. All right. See, it's possible. But keep in mind, Roger's Malevolence is not maxed out yet. So we have to do a lot more work on our fleet if we're going to be taking out maxed out Malevolences. So we just got to keep plugging away. All right, Brian Thompson says, you got screwed. All right, Brian, let's take a look let's answer your question here. Let's answer your question here. We have Sun Fac. All right. We have his ship. You guys help me out. We're going to look at his health and protection. He is sitting at, I'm gonna write this down. We're just gonna do one at a time. So we've got health is 101,067. Protection is 71,817. Yeah, Brian, we got him. You're right, man. You're right. Speed is 147. That's another reason to upgrade the mods on your ships, is to give them a little more speed. I'm not worried about potency, tenacity, damage. I mean, I guess I'll write down damage. Be good to have a little bit more of a scientific. Now the mods, the changes we're about to make to these mods are on a R4 ship. I don't know how big of a factor that's going to be, and we're at 45.9% armor. All right, let's do it. Let's do one mod. One mod, and these mods, you guys, I don't recommend doing this. This is one of those do as I say, not as I do. These mods are not great mods, okay? They are not great mods, but I need to upgrade them for the sake of the ship. Now, ideally, we would have mods like, look at this mod here. This mod's got 11 speed at gold, and there's basically 3 baby hits into speed. This could easily be 15 speed with 3 hits, but they were all small hits. It's not a good mod to level up because of the speed, but for the sake of the ship, it's worth it. We're actually going to do this one. It's got speed in the primary, so it'll go up by 2, and then it's got some good defensive stats. Health is good, defense is good, and protection is good. The crit chance is fine on Sun Fac, the character, but it's not really super worth it. And we only have enough to do one mod. I would like to do like multiple mods and see how the progression goes, but we only have enough materials to do one mod, so let's do it. And let's go take a look at what that does to the ship. And here we go. Okay. Health went up by almost 400, almost 500. Almost 500 health. And the protection went up by... Did I write that down wrong? It's showing that the protection went up by also like 500. So yeah, almost 500 on both of these. And for 3 relic levels, it was what, like 3,000? So the mods, that's a pretty big hit compared to relic levels. Just taking 1 mod up. The speed did not go up. I believe the speed goes up for every 2 mods you take to 6 dot. I think it's for every 2 mods you go up 1 speed. 2 mods, 1 speed. I think relics is 1 for 1. For every relic you go up 1 speed, but mods, I think it takes 2 mods to go up 1 speed. And for the armor went up what, 0.1? It went up 0.1. So the armor went up a little. Health and protection went up 500 each. It's not a huge impact, but it is a way to make your ship a little bit better. A little bit better. And compared to relics, I would say that 6 dot mods are a good bit easier. But just remember that your character has to be at least gear 12 before you can put 6 dot mods on them. Visla's saying before. Okay, so Visla's got all the numbers for us right here. Let's go back to it just so we can compare. Before the health was 101,067, and it is now. That's very helpful, Visla. I appreciate that, man. 101,067. It's now 101,563. So like 490. I don't know. 6. I don't know. I'm not good at math. And then protection was 71,817, and that's, I think, this exact same amount of growth as health. So it must be a flat amount of health and protection is added with that 6 dot. Speed was 147. Damage was 7712. I didn't look at the damage. 7750. That's a pretty significant impact in the damage. The Sun Fac's not a big damage dealer, but with that mass assist from Spy, he is one of the 3 people that are attacking. So yeah. Alright. Alright. Mods are worth it, you guys. Take those 6 dot mods up on your pilots. Honestly, I would say, if you've got a gear 12 pilot and you're thinking, should I put relics on them or should I put 6 dot mods on them, one or the other, I would go 6 dot mods. It's a way cheaper investment, and it seems like it has a fairly comparable to take all of your 5 dot mods to 6 dot versus taking your character from relic 0 to relic 4 is relatively comparable. So keep that in mind, you guys. It's a good way to make your ship a good bit better without giving it a lot more galactic power. All right, well, we learned something together. That's fun. That's fun. Let's take a look at our list here. All right. The fleet, we shouldn't get knocked back because everybody that's up here, as far as I know, is in the Fleet Arena Discord. So we're just going to leave that. If we get knocked back, oh well. We'll take a look at it if we have time before the end. Now comes the point where we have to decide, how do we handle this super close tie? It's not quite a tie. Let's see what the final tally is on this roster spotlight, you guys. It's time for the roster spotlight. The poll says Bossk gets 15 votes and Bastila Shan gets 16 votes. So Bastila Shan wins the vote, but it's just too close for me to feel good about leaving Bossk out. So what I've decided is we're going to do both. We've got time tonight. There's no Grand Arena. There's a bunch of other stuff I wanted to do, but I think it's worth it. I think it's just, so many people want both of them. We're going to try to do 2 roster spotlights tonight. So because Bastila won the vote, we're going to start off with Bastila. DOG says 6 dot mods are massive. 6 dot primaries are massive also. Mods, nom, nom, nom. Yeah, that's a good point, DOG. We picked kind of a bad example of that. We went from 30 speed to 32 speed on this primary. But if we were to say, and this is a bad example because these are all protection, and protection goes from 23.5 to 24. It's stupid. It's a little baby amount. But like this one, the offense, this goes up to 8.5%. The defense goes up to 20%. And that's why I did these first, because it's how the impact it has on the character. So the 6 dot primaries are very good. So We have a couple Bossk fans in the chat. We're going to do both. We're going to do Bastila and Bossk. And we can't do Bossk without doing the Hounds too. So let's talk about some roster spotlight, you guys. Roster spotlight brought to you by Free to Play Nation. This is the segment of the stream where we take an in-depth look on a particular character and find out what the best way to use them in this game is. Bastila Shan, one of the #1 recommended early game farms. She is an incredible Jedi with an incredible leadership. Let's take a look at her leadership. The primary reason people say to use Bastila Shan early game is because of her leadership. Now, we don't even have this thing maxed out. We're going to look at it at rank 7, which is where we have it currently. At the start of battle, Jedi allies gain 15% turn meter, which means at the beginning of the battle, you're already going to have your turn meter bar 15% of the way up. It's going to really help you go first. And then they gain protection up 200%, which cannot be dispelled. While they have protection up, they deal 35% more damage. This gives you turn meter, survivability, and damage all at the same time. And if you decide to put the Zeta on her lead, then additionally, any Jedi who are a tank start with taunt, and while the Jedi have protection up, they gain an additional 150% tenacity. And as you guys know, 150% tenacity is kind of the baseline for enough tenacity to reliably resist debuffs. So even though she gives 150% tenacity, if you want your team to resist everything, you're going to need to put tenacity on the team as well. But this is a great leadership for early game Jedi teams that are trying to go up against somebody like Vader and Palpatine who have all kinds of debuffs. You can just shut those debuffs down unless they have their Vader modded with stupid amounts of potency. Vizsla says Bastila makes the early Galactic War so easy. You're right, Vizsla. That is one of the #1 reasons why people and I say to farm Bastila early, because this protection up that she gives, 200%, it starts fresh at the beginning of every battle, which means that you can go through the whole Galactic War and have that fresh 200% protection up at the beginning of every battle. Let's do a little demonstration here. There's a lot more to talk about on Bastila besides her leadership ability, but let's just show it. You see they have a certain amount of protection and a certain amount of health. All of them have a certain amount of protection and a certain amount of health. If we go into the battle, it's like a shield. It's like a shield up that she gives at the beginning of the fight. In Galactic Wars, see all this purple protection right here? The enemies have to get all the way through the purple protection on somebody before they can do any damage to the regular protection. And in Galactic War, what's one of the #1 problems is that your team runs out of steam as it goes down the line. They lose some protection. Maybe they lose some health. If you get a healer, you can heal the health back up, but where's the protection? The protection is gone. Bastila will help keep your team alive all the way through the Galactic War. Now, we did a little discussion on Yoda before, so we're going to go ahead and use some of the things we learned from Yoda. We're going to start off with his basic and give him a little turn meter. Now, here's Bastila. We're going to look at Bastila more on her character sheet, but let's talk about stuff mid-fight here. So Bastila has 3 active abilities that she can use, all right? And she's got a couple of passive abilities too. She's an incredible character. This is the other thing that makes Bastila Shan famous. It's this rally ability. Let's read it. Bastila dispels. It starts off with a dispel. She dispels all debuffs from herself and another target ally. So whoever we select this ability, and then we click on an ally, and that ally will have all the debuffs dispelled from them. And then her and the ally gain offense up, defense up, speed up, accuracy up, and critical chance up for 2 turns. So she cleanses all the debuffs, and she gives them and herself all these buffs. And then finally she calls that ally to assist. Now this is a 4-turn cooldown. It takes a hot minute for this to come back around. But this will help you set up the battle to where you can have control at the beginning of the match. Now, generally what people do is they'll take this ability and they'll give it to Yoda. Why? Two reasons. One, because this will fill up Yoda's turn meter bar the rest of the way. If he attacks somebody with more than 50% health, his turn meter is going to go up 40% based on his basic. We learned about that last time. So if we give it to Yoda, he automatically gets a turn. But what else happens? He gets all of these buffs that we talked about. And then he can use his buff ability to spread the buffs. Now look, the whole team has speed up, offense up, defense up, all this stuff. And now you can just go along through the fight. I'm just going to be using kind of basics to try to to try to get back around to the characters that we're actually talking about here. Okay, let's just back out. Let's back out. I want to talk about another possibility here. Bastila says, nice job showing the gameplay to support the character's leadership ability. I appreciate it, Bastila. I appreciate it. I'm super excited about this character spotlight segment, and I want to do more in a fight and less just looking at their character sheet, because I feel like this is more compelling. All right, let's start off the fight the same way that we did before. Yoda. Now, this is not a tough fight, you guys know. It's Galactic War. My team's a little more advanced, so this is not like a challenge, but this is still showcasing everything. Now, this ability, this rally ability, obviously it's very good to give it to Yoda, right? And Yoda can then spread the buffs to everybody. However, look at the other options we have on our team. If you know some of these kits, you know that Ahsoka, what does she do on her basic? She dispels buffs on her basic. If there's an enemy with a problematic buff, you can use Bastila to call Ahsoka to assist to dispel that enemy. Let's say there's an enemy that you need to land buff immunity on. Whoops, that was an accident. You can call Anakin to assist, because on his basic, he inflicts buff immunity and he inflicts healing immunity. If you want to get Old Ben, his ability where he puts ability block on everybody, one of the things about Old Ben is that he gets potency up. I might be wrong about this, but let's just find out together. He gets potency up on his basic. He gives himself potency up. Well, he needs potency to apply all the debuffs to the enemy team. So you could start the fight by giving this to Old Ben. Then he gets potency up. There it is, right there. Potency up. All right. And then when he uses his ability to apply debuffs to everybody right here, he's now got all this extra potency to deal debuffs to more people. So just Bastila is like a Swiss Army knife. You can use her to do whatever you need to do in the situation. Now, let's back out of this, go back in here, and we're going to do one more fight, and then we'll just play through this fight and see what happens in the next one. All right, so that is her rally ability. It is an amazing ability. You can cleanse your own team. You can use it as a Swiss Army knife to call whoever you need to do. Whatever they do on their basic, they will do. So what else does Bastila do? Bastila has an amazing basic ability. Let's look at it together. It deals special damage to the target enemy and inflicts ability block for 1 turn. So this is a 1-turn ability block. But it's not just that, it's a reliable 1-turn ability block, and this is why. It deals 10% more damage, and it has an extra 10% potency for each active Jedi ally. And so in this case, if we wanted to get an ability block on Ezra to make sure that he doesn't do his big hit, she might not have a lot of potency on her mods. I think you should mod her with potency. We'll get to that in a minute. But she has an extra 50% potency because it's for each active Jedi ally, including her. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10% extra potency for each active Jedi ally. We should get the ability block, and we do because of all the extra potency. So let's just play through this. Let's just use a basic. Now here's another thing you got to remember about Bastila is that her bonuses only apply to your team while they have protection up. But there are other characters that can apply protection up to your team if you were to somehow lose the protection up that you get from her lead at the start of battle. Then Yoda, when he does his battle meditation, he gives protection up. Ahsoka, when she does her big hit, she gives protection up. So the Jedi team can continue to thrive and survive even if they lose the initial protection up. Okay, so let's get into this one, and we will talk about her final ability. Let's open up with some ability blocks from Old Men. Ooh, look at that. So good. So let's look just as a quick example. Ahsoka, when she does her big hit, she gives protection up to the team. Why didn't she give it to... Maybe she only gives protection up to other Galactic Republic. I'll have to look at Ahsoka's. We'll do Ahsoka another day. But Ahsoka has given these guys some extra protection up. There's the leadership protection up. Here's the Ahsoka protection up. Alright, so let's get back around to Bastila. Okay. Bastila's third ability. She deals special damage. So this is special damage, this is special damage. Remember we talked about the difference between special damage and physical damage before. Bastila is all special damage. Okay. She deals special damage and dispels all buffs on them and stuns them. So, gosh, how can we get any of these guys to do buffs? We'll just have to, maybe we'll hit it in another fight. Let's see if we can get the stun. There we go. So she stunned him, and if he had any buffs, she would dispel those. This is really good to do on a tank. An enemy tank is taunting. You can dispel the taunt and stun him so that you can then go after the guys that you actually want to go after, the guys that are going to be problematic. So we stunned the tank, and now we can just, let's just put this on auto basic, and we'll get through this one. We're just going to do one more fight. Hopefully we can find somebody with some buffs to dispel. But Bastila has ability block on her basic, an incredible amount of team cleansing and buffing with the rally ability, and she's got a buff dispel with her third ability that will also has a chance to stun. It will stun as long as they don't resist it. So Bastila is a fantastic character as an early game leader. But that is not the only thing. Let's see if we can get, who's going to get a buff. Is Dooku might get a buff, so let's leave Dooku alive. Let's give these to Yoda, and then Yoda can spread it. So Bastila is really good as a leader early game, and some people use her as a leader later on. It doesn't look like anybody's going to get any buffs, so we'll just put this on auto and let it finish. But Bastila, once you get Jedi Knight Revan, all of a sudden Bastila's lead is not the thing that you want to use as much. You want to use her not as the leader, but as a secondary character, and here is why. Let's go take a look at her kit. Let's take a look at her kit. Let me turn the chat back on to make sure I'm not missing with you guys. DOG says, Sith. All right. So Jedi. Whoops, I just went right past it. Here we go. And Bastila. Yeah, the Galactic War Teams are fun. They are fun. You never know what people are going to put together, do you? Alright, now I need to obviously do some work on Bastila, and just for the record, I don't have her basic maxed out. Her basic actually does 20% more potency for each active Jedi ally, and 20% more damage. It really doesn't do a lot of damage. Even with 100% extra damage, it really doesn't do a lot of extra damage. It's not a big damaging attack, but this 20% potency, let's go ahead and do it. She deserves it. I don't want to go too crazy with Omegas, but she definitely deserves it. Rally. We haven't even talked about like one of the very best things about Bastila. We'll hold off on that buff duration. We talked about subvert defenses. We talked about leadership. Now, we're going to do Force Bond for a moment. We'll do it to the max here. It's not Zeta. She has 1 Zeta on her leadership, but this is not it here. Here's where she really starts to crank up the effectiveness. if you have Jedi Knight Revan, you want to run Bastila with him, especially early mid-game. Late game, you still want to use Jedi Knight Revan, but often you want to run him with like Galactic Legends and Gas and all the very best Jedi, because Jedi Knight Revan's leadership is amazing. But if you have Bastila, which you will if you have Revan, you want to run Revan in the leader slot, and here's why. Bastila and Revan have an extra 70% accuracy, 70% potency, 70% tenacity, and then he also recovers protection from Legendary Battle Meditation. And we haven't even talked about Legendary Battle Meditation yet. But all these buffs, just because Revan is in the leader slot, she gets them and he gets them. And then if Darth Revan is on the enemy squad, Bastila gains advantage and retribution for 1 turn at the start of Darth Revan's turn, because she's mad that Darth Revan went to the dark side. And here is the Legendary Battle Meditation. This is another reason why just having Bastila on the team is amazing. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade this as well, because she deserves it. So we'll look at it at the max rank. At the start of Bastila's turn, so she just takes a turn and this automatically happens. She recovers 2% protection for each buff she has, and if she just used Rally, she's going to have buffs. And all other allies gain 3% turn meter, doubled for Jedi, and Legendary Battle Meditation. So whenever she takes a turn, all the rest of the Jedi get 6% turn meter, just because she took a turn. And she recovers a bit of protection. What does Legendary Battle Meditation do? It gives extra 50% potency and an extra 35% counter chance, doubled for Jedi. So this would be 100% potency and 35% counter chance if they have Legendary Battle Meditation. And then it cannot be dispelled if you have it at the max rank, which is only an Omega. It's definitely worth it. So Bastila takes a turn, and then all the Jedi on your team now have Legendary Battle Meditation until they take a turn, which means their next turn is going to have a bunch of extra potency, a bunch of extra counter chance. This is how, when they have the Legendary Battle Meditation, you don't want to attack them, because they will probably attack you back. There's a 70% chance that they're going to attack you back. Bastila herself does not get the Legendary Battle Meditation. She only gives it to the team. So that's particularly interesting. I don't know why she doesn't get it. I guess because she's meditating and she's giving the team bonuses because she's meditating. She doesn't also get the meditation bonuses. But this means that she does not get this extra potency or this counter chance. So if you're fighting a Jedi team and everybody on the team has Legendary Battle Meditation, attack Bastila, because she will not attack you back because she won't ever get this buff. Okay, so how do you mod her? We talked about she's a good leader. We talked about she's great under Jedi Knight Revan, and she's good in other scenarios as well. Some endgame stuff that we're not going to get into, but how do you mod her? We already saw that whenever she takes a turn, everybody on the team gets turn meter, right? So you want her to take lots of turns. Also, whenever she takes a turn, Legendary Battle Meditation goes on everybody. So you want her fast. You want her fast so that she takes lots of turns. I don't have her as fast as she deserves by any means, because it's an early game account. I've only got such good mods. But you want to run a speed arrow, and then you want to run... she doesn't do a lot of damage. She can do some damage, but you mostly want her fast and potent. So I have whatever kind of primary I can have here. I got a little bit of potency, a little bit of speed. You want to run a potency cross. She doesn't need it for her basic, because her basic gets an extra 100% potency as long as she's on a team with 4 other Jedi. But you need it for that stun. Bastila's stun can be very clutch in certain situations. The dispel is going to happen when she uses her ability that dispels. It's going to happen, but it's not just the stun, it's also the buff immunity. Speaking of, this is another one I was going to go ahead and do to the max level. She inflicts stun and buff immunity, and like I said, if you do it on a tank, she'll dispel the tank, she'll stun the tank, and then she'll keep them from taunting again because of the buff immunity. So it is very important to have potency on your Bastila. I only have her at 43% potency because, once again, I'm early game, she's low gear, and my mods are whatever they are. But try to put speed on her. Try to put potency on her. Speed and health is not the right thing. You want a 4-piece speed set and a 2-piece potency set. But I haven't farmed potency mods yet, so you just use whatever you have, right? DOG says, gotta go fast. Fast is smooth. Fast is fast, fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, you want to mod Bastila with speed and potency, and then besides that, just survivability. And you want to use her as the leader early game, and after you get Jedi Knight Revan, you want to transition into using her under Jedi Knight Revan. And if you have both Jedi Knight Revan and Bastila, in Grand Arena, you can break up your Jedi into 2 teams. Jedi Knight Revan can run a couple, Bastila can run a couple, and it can work out really well for you in Grand Arena. Alright, so concludes our first roster spotlight of the stream. Not roster spotlight, character spotlight. Bastila Shan. She's a fantastic, fantastic character. I highly recommend her. As far as the Zeta, I personally have not done it, and I'm thinking that I won't do it. The reason is because Bastila right now, as you saw a moment ago, she's running Yoda, Anakin, and Ahsoka from my account. Well, those all belong under the Padme team primarily. And now that I have Padme up and running, and I have not yet put the Zeta on Bastila lead, I will probably hold off on that. The Bastila lead Zeta is good, but not if you already have Padme up and running with Padme Zetas. So just keep that in mind, you guys. It's certainly a good Zeta. It's certainly a Zeta that you will want eventually. But whether or not you get it early game kind of depends on if anybody else needs a Zeta more. Right now, I'm going after my Padme team, trying to get them up and running. I have to finish with my Geos first, and then I'm going to be switching to Padme and going all in on the Padme team. All right, let's break up the character spotlight. We are going to do Bossk. Don't you guys worry about that. But let's break it up a little bit before we jump into another character, because sometimes too much information is too much information. Let's go ahead. Well, let's not. I was going to sim the rest of the war, but we'll save that for some Bossk action. All right. We got rank 2. Thank you to the people in the Fleet Shard who did not knock me back. I greatly appreciate that. And we should be able to finish our dailies here. Excellent. Excellent. Now, let's do a roster spotlight. Less learning, more just fun looking at somebody's stuff. We were going to do Lord Snipe, but he says that he is no longer playing that account. So, let's just take a little look at his account. Well, like I say, we'll do a final salute to his First Order. He said he was loving those First Order. There he is. And you can see that he's not playing anymore, but he was having a blast with his First Order. Let's see what he was running. He was running Crew with the First Order Stormtrooper. Wow, he almost had him to 7 stars. Hux at 3 stars. And then one of the TIE Fighter pilots along with Panda. This is a good team. This is a good team. And so he started off with Phoenix, and he went into the First Order. And that's where this account died. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. There are many accounts out there like this that started strong. He got multiple 7-star characters in the First Order, and then eventually the account just died off. But we salute you, the alternate account of Lord Snipe, and we are glad that the main account of Lord Snipe now gets all of his attention. Alright, you guys, let's jump into the roster spotlight of who I expect to be a bit of a whale based on what he said. I've not looked at his account. His name is Whable, and he's got a picture of a whale. So let's see if his picture lives up to his name here. Here we go. 394 653 394. Interesting. I double checked there. I didn't know if I was looking at the right thing. Holy moly, you guys, look at this account. Oh, his name is Abel, and he's a whale. So he named himself Whable. I love it. I love it. Look at this, you guys. Wow. I've never looked at an account with like this. The closest, we've had a couple of end game accounts. We've had Duran's account, and we've had the Real No Lies account. My gosh. Look at this. This is like the Real No Lies account where he's got tons of galactic legends. Let's see what his galactic power is. 6.6 million. To be honest, 6.6 million with this many galactic legends, that's all of them, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, who are we missing? We're missing Jedi Knight Luke, or Jedi Master Luke. It's the only one he's missing. He's got 5 galactic legends. He's got Cat at Relic 8. Like I said, this is not a roster review. This is a roster spotlight. Look at this roster. Man alive. He's got Relic 9 on his Kenobi. Whew. Look at this Lord Vader. Relic 8. Let's go down the list. We got Jedi Knight Revan. We got Darth Revan. We got Padme. CLS. Look at these 7s. 7s and 8s. We're still in the 7s and 8s, you guys. 7s, 8s, 7s, 8s, 7s, 8s. Oh my gosh, Newt Gunray. I mean, of course, this is going to be mostly Galactic Legend unlock requirements. Rex at Relic 7. Echo at Relic 7. C-3PO. Okay, here we finally got some 5s. My gosh, you guys, look at this roster. Oh my goodness. See, this is somebody who knows about Jedi Knight Revan. He's good at relics, but he's functional at low relics. You mostly need him for his speed and for his direct focus to focus on somebody. He doesn't have to be super high relicked. Han Solo at 6, Chewbacca at 6. My goodness, you guys, look at this. Shore Trooper at 7, Tarkin. I know Tarkin's got to be 7 for one of those GLs. Oh my goodness, we're still going in the relics, you guys. Look, we found our first non-relic. What is that, like 20 rows down or something? Let's see, let's just see for fun. How many rows down do we have to go on Abel's account to find somebody that's not relic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, row 15. Row 15 before our first non-relic. Not just to mention the relic. Look at these Zetas. Zetas everywhere. Zetas everywhere. All right, and then more relics continue. The relics continue, and the relics continue to continue. My goodness, I don't even know how to talk about this account. This account is just incredible. He's got 7-star Beskar Armor Mando. Oh my goodness. And then we get down into the couple of characters he doesn't have relic. Goodness gracious. How much money did he spend? I don't know, Brian. I don't know, but he seems like a cool dude. He seems like a cool dude. If anybody knows him, shout him out that we did a roster spotlight on this guy. Let's check some speeds, you guys. I just want to see what somebody like this has got on their account. His fastest guy is Jedi Master Kenobi. It's going to be the GLs probably. But let's just look at some of these speeds. What does he have here? 24 speed with an offense. 24 speed with potency. 28 speed. Holy moly, guys. 26. 26 speed. 24 speed. Now you guys look, I know this is like a dream, right? This is like a dream account. For all us free-to-play players, we're salivating over this account. What he's done is he's gone to where he hits speed all 5 times. That's the goal. That's the end goal with your mods. You want to hit speed all 5 times. Now something like this, he hit speed all 5 times. But they were like 5s and 6s, the speed hits that he got. So the end of that mod was higher than some of these like 24s. But 24 is amazing. Anything that you can get above 20 is like mind-blowingly good. And all right, so let's is there an arrow here? No. Relic 9, my goodness. My goodness. All right, let's skip the Galactic Legends because I'm sure they all have amazing mods, but his Shakti is his next fastest. Let's check this Shock. Obviously, that's going to be a speed error. I don't know why I clicked on that. Okay, 14 speed. So his next fastest is not like all, but look at that, 25, 25, 24, 23, and 20. Wow. And see, he took this one all the way to gold, and it still didn't hit everything. I bet you he's kicking himself with this, but look at what he's got. He's got all this defense, potency, health, and speed on a crit chance. Very nice. Very nice. Wow. And look at this one. He didn't even need to take this into the 6-dot colors. This hit all 5 just on the regular upgrades. Amazing. Amazing. Well, let's not look at any more speed mods. Let's look at offense. I want to see what some of these offense mods are like. Physical damage, I guess. Probably. Oh wow, look, Jedi Knight Luke is above any of the Galactic Legends. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Offense on the primary. Offense primaries, you guys. They're good. They're good. Here's another offense on the primary, so it's not going to have any offense in the secondary. Offense, he's got offense percentage right here. Jedi Knight Luke must just have a tremendous amount of offense. Here's 3 hits in offense right here. Wow, this is incredible. Jedi Knight Luke just must have an obscene amount of offense because these mods are not super offense focused. Let's see what his damage is. 11,665. Nice. Nice, nice. Let's see what Dark Trooper's looking like. Offense primary. You know you run that offense primary on that Dark Trooper. Look at this. Offense with a bunch of speed. A bunch of speed. And more offense. Once again, more speed. Offense on that cross with speed and crit chance. Crit chance, I mean, I guess Dark Trooper only crits if he's got advantage. So this probably would be better to go on a different tune because he can only crit with his basic if he has advantage, and if he has advantage, he doesn't need crit chance to crit. So this is a great mod, though. It's a great mod. Look at this. 8.5% offense, a bunch of speed, but then a bunch of crit chance. That's awesome. And protection. DOG says sort by tenacity. Let's take a look at the tenacity. Nest. He's running high tenacity Nest. How much tenacity does he have on his girl Nest? 151%, and 106% of that comes from mods. Very nice. So he's going to have a tenacity primary here. Tenacity, look at this, 24 speed. Holy moly. So he's running a fast Nest. A fast Nest is a thing, you guys. He's running a fast and tenacious Nest. This is very difficult to get this much speed and this much tenacity on a character. Amazing. Amazing. Alright, you guys, let's look at ships. Let's look at ships. This guy's roster is amazing. Amazing. Just real quick, I want to look at gas, because I honestly have heard different things about how to mod gas. And I just want to see how our boy Abel's modded him. He's got speed on him here, a bunch of health, crit damage, offense, speed, health, and protection. That's a great mod. That's a great mod. Look at this, 17 speed, that's great, obviously. But then 4 hits in health and 2 hits in protection and flat offense, that's a great mod. Tenacity, interesting. Interesting. I wonder if that's for the primary or if it's just for, maybe for this protection secondary and this health and speed, perhaps. I mean, when you start getting into crit damage type mods, most people don't have as many crit damage type mods as they have like offense type. Crit chance, speed, and a bunch of offense. This guy is running protection, speed, and offense on this gas. That is a very, very beautiful gas. It's much more beautiful than the gas that I produce, I'll tell you that. All right, you guys. Yeah, he's got this Millennium Falcon. Let's see what his capital ships are. Capital ships. He's got the Negotiator. So this leads me to believe that his account is not super old. He's got the Negotiator to 6 stars and he has 0 malevolence. That leads me to believe that this account is not super old. Well, that makes the mods that he's got even that much more impressive, because those are solid mods. For a young account, I mean, obviously he's a whale. but he's whaled very intelligently the characters that he's gone after. Got a maxed out Chimera, maxed out Executrix. Finalizer still needs 1 star. Endurance is maxed. Radis needs a couple stars, and Home 1 is maxed out. All right, let's look at his bounty hunters. Let's see if he's going for the Executor. I think he might be going for that Executor, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Amazing. Look at this. He's got the Houndstooth 7 stars. He's got so many relics and other characters, but he doesn't have Bossk Relic. He must not even need him for his fleet. DOG says, I love the smell of your gas. Dude, trust me. Nobody does. I don't. Oh my goodness. No way. Alright, so what does he have his Boba Fett relic up to? Relic 5. Okay. So he's not knocking on the door of Relic 8. And the fact that he's farming this Razor Crest leads me to believe he's going for that Executor. What else do you need for that Executor? You need a couple Empire ships, don't you? Let's see here. TIE Fighter, but he doesn't have him relicked, so he might not even be going for that ship. He might just be rocking that that Negotiator. He's rocking the Negotiator. So this just leads me to believe he cares way more about characters than he does fleet, because he obviously has money. He obviously can whale, he knows how to whale, but he has not whaled out super hard on his fleet. I mean, yeah, he's got the Anakin ship, he's got Ahsoka at Relic 5, he's got a solid fleet. And you can only whale so much on the Negotiator. Just beautiful, man. Just beautiful. 7-star BTLB. 7-star IG-2000. Working on that Rebel Y-Wing. There's that beautiful Negotiator. What an account, you guys. What an account. I don't know if he's got any ally spots left, but if you wanted a strong ally, this is your guy right here, Whable. The new Heroes of Denmark. Oh, he's in the guild with Intimidation. This is Intimidation's guild, Intimidation's main account. Amazing. Amazing. Let's see if we can figure out how old his account is. It's also possible that he just used all his Get To on like gear and not on the capital ships, which is something that a lot of people do, but it looks like he's trying to get his capital ship now. Galactic War Battles 1, that's 16,000. So somebody in the chat divide 16,000 by 12, and that'll tell us about how many days old his account is. I'm not even going to try to do that. I'm going to let you guys worry about that. That'll tell us about how many days old his account is. If he plays every day and if he sims his Galactic War every day. That'll tell us that. And let's see, I bet you he's a big donator. Gear donated? Yeah, 2,134. So he's a big donator. So good, you guys. What a cool roster. What a cool roster. Nice. Nice. All right, well, there's several things I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to do territory battles. We still have plenty of time on that. Personally, if we don't get to it on the stream, I wanted to do this Galactic Challenge. I've been waiting for the stream for this. I already did the credit heist. I already did this event. But we'll have this event for the next stream, the Kyle Katarn event. Brian Thompson says 1333. Okay, so that's what? 1, 2, 3, a little under 4 years old. So it's a relatively old account. It's not something he whaled on all at once. Very nice. Very, very nice account. Area 501st says, what's up, Padawan? What's up, Area 501st? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Glad to have you in the stream. All right, so I want to do the Galactic Challenge. I want to do the territory battles. I want to do a little mod work. And we don't have that kind of time. But what we are going to do is we're going to do this Bossk Character Spotlight. Bossk is one of my very favorite characters in this game. I remember when he first came out, everybody was saying, go Bossk, go Bossk, go Bossk. And I was just like, I don't know why, but I'm going to go Bossk. And I went hard after Bossk. I got him. This was before double drops, before the character shards were double drop. And once I finally got him to 7 stars, I had that last piece of gear 11 gear, and I took him right up to relics. I was working on his ship, and I was never disappointed. No, I didn't even take him to relics on my very first account. It was just gear 12. But his ship is amazing. His character amazing. Let's talk about Bossk. What is Bossk? Bossk is a bounty hunter. Primarily, you use Bossk as a leader of bounty hunter teams or as a secondary in bounty hunter teams. His leadership is one of my very favorite bounty hunter leaderships. But before we talk about his leadership, we need to talk about what makes the bounty hunter faction in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, what makes them work. There's a lot of bounty hunters in the game, and every single bounty hunter has a leadership, every one. And every single bounty hunter has a way that you can activate the contract. So the way they have it set up is everybody has a payout. And this is like the bounty hunters in the world of Star Wars. They go on a job and they get paid. So basically the leadership ability sets up what is the job for your bounty hunter team to accomplish in order to get paid. And then every bounty hunter also has a payout. This is something that happens to them mid-fight once the job is complete. So Bossk's leadership, what he does, his contract, the job that his team has to do in order for it to qualify, his contract is to deal damage to the weakest enemy 10 times. Only bounty hunters can contribute to this contract. So this does not necessarily mean that 10 different people take a turn and use it against the weakest enemy. He has this hunting party ability that calls all the allies to assist, deal physical damage to the target enemy, and stun them for 1 turn. Call all other bounty hunter allies to assist, dealing 60% less damage. If the target is the weakest enemy, reduce all the assisting bounty hunter allies cooldowns by 1. So it's a great ability. It's a team-wide cooldown reduction, but the biggest thing it is it's several hits on one enemy, which gives you a lot of progress on your contract. You only have to deal damage to this enemy 10 times. So there's a lot of fun interactions that you can have to try to get this contract complete, but it requires being able to hit the weakest enemy. So let's talk about how this works. Let's jump into a battle. There's a lot more abilities that he has, and we're going to talk about all of them. But let's jump into this battle here. And we're going to select our bounty hunter squad. Grand Arena. Chum Bucket. We named him Chum Bucket for some reason. I still don't know why. We've got the boss leadership ability on the hunt. The contract is to deal damage to the weakest enemy 10 times. So let's see this in action. Now, I don't even know if we're going to be able to deal damage to these enemies 10 times before they die. But there are other places we can do this. Okay, weakest enemy. So we're going to start off with this ability. This is not how I recommend using Bossk, but just so you guys can see. Start off with this ability, and then everybody attacks. We didn't hit as many times as we could have because she's not strong enough. But if you look here, right here, this shows that we're 50% complete with the contract. Right here, all the bounty hunters will have this. It'll show 50% complete. And then when you make a hit, let's use a hit with Django on the weakest enemy. Now we're 60% complete. We're going to make a hit with Cad Bane, and now we're 70% complete. This right here, it just means that it damages the weakest enemy 10 times. Anytime there's an enemy on the field that will help you contribute to your contract, it will show above their head who you should be attacking. Boba Fett has a chance to deal damage twice. He did not. Let's see if we can even get to this contract before. Okay, there we go. Contract activated. See how we have all these blue buffs right here. What happened to our friends? Well, the leader contract, the leader payment for Bossk's leadership is that all the bounty hunters gain plus 50 speed plus 50 speed. That's another reason why his leadership is great, because when they hit the contract, they go way faster. And then each individual character gets their payout. IG-88's payout is that critical hits reduce enemies' tenacity by 10%, and you get 25% offense if there's an enemy with target lock. But each individual character has a different payout. Let's talk about what Bossk's payout is. Bossk's payout, whenever Bossk is on a team, any team, and the contract gets completed, he recovers 5% health and protection at the start of his turn, and half that much whenever another bounty hunter ally starts their turn. So Bossk just gets all this health and protection regeneration just by taking turns. Now we can't even show that because he hasn't even taken any damage. But let's go ahead and finish this fight and get into the next one, and we will talk about another one of his abilities that is amazing. We'll just use some basics to get on through this. Hopefully we can get to like fight number 6. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a tougher fight, and we can better showcase what his abilities do. That's fight number 4. Oh, this is not going to be it. At least the Phoenix are a little bit durable. Okay. So, what is another one of Bossk's amazing abilities? It is his taunt ability. And this is what I recommend, that you always start the fight with this taunt ability, and here's why. It dispels all debuffs on himself, which shouldn't be an issue at the beginning of the fight. It recovers health, which also shouldn't be an issue at the beginning of the fight, but this is why. It gains Frenzy and Taunt for 3 turns, and then all Bounty Hunter allies gain offense up. So this starts the fight with your whole team buffed up with extra damage, plus your taunting. But it also gives you Frenzy. What Frenzy does is you gain 100% turn meter when an ally uses a special ability. So Bossk right now is a long time from taking a turn. But if I use Django's special ability, all of a sudden the Frenzy makes it to where Bossk gets 100% turn meter. Now Bossk can go ahead and use his mass assist on an enemy and get a bunch of progress towards the fight. Now it shows that he's still got Frenzy. So if I use another special ability, so he just keeps Frenzy. He keeps getting 100% turn meter. You can cycle back around to his taunt really quickly. And if we were to use this ability and try to get a bunch of progress on our contract, once again, we're killing this team too quickly to properly showcase this team. We'll get to the next team. So there goes our contract. Everybody gets more speed. Everybody gets their payout. And we're off to the races. Now, let's talk about Bossk's leadership ability. We talked about his contract. What does his team need to do in order to activate his contract? And this is a little bit thicker of a Phoenix team. This will be perfect. This will be perfect. What is it that makes Bossk lead Zeta so good? And I have the lead Zeta, and I'll tell you guys why. The Bossk lead Zeta. Let's get back around to Bossk. If you notice, Django is missing some protection. Bossk's lead Zeta makes it to where anytime somebody on your team tries to debuff the enemy, your whole team gains health and protection. 5% health, 5% protection. Whether or not the debuff sticks, okay? All bounty hunters gain extra protection, 50% max protection, and 50% tenacity. And then all bounty hunters gain 100% defense while at full health. So this gives the whole team a lot more survivability, extra protection, and extra defense, and then a little bit of tenacity. I mean, the tenacity can't hurt, right? Whenever an enemy suffers a debuff or resists, so that's whenever an enemy suffers a debuff or resists, it doesn't matter. Whenever somebody on your team tries to inflict a debuff, this is what happens. All bounty hunter allies recover 5% health and protection. So this is fantastic in Grand Arena. Whenever you're trying to end the fight with maximum health and protection, this is a great leadership to help you do that. We already talked about the contract and the reward. So let's see if we can showcase this protection coming back. Cad Bane has a stun right here. So when we stun, you can see that Django and IG-88's health and protection came back. Now watch this. This ability, it deals physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict ability block and a 50% chance to inflict damage over time. So this has two different debuffs that it tries to apply. Plus, it tries to inflict ability block on the selected target for 2 turns. So this means that when Boba Fett does his AoE, the whole team gets a ton of health and protection. Look, back to full, and because he was taunting, he takes the damage. Now we're gonna put this ability right here, which is a stun, which is an additional debuff, and then everybody on the team is going to assist, and everybody has a debuff that they apply on their basic. Boba Fett applies a debuff, IG-88, everybody does. So watch, Bossk's health and protection is about to go back up to maximum because everybody's basic abilities fill him right back up. Every time a debuff is attempted, health and protection is recovered. So you guys can see how powerful this health and protection recovery can be. Django is another one right here. Right here, he inflicts burning on all enemies. So it's an AoE debuff. It has an incredible amount of health and protection recovery. We're not talking about any of these other bounty hunters right now, although we will in future character spotlights. We're just talking about how the Bossk leadership ability interacts with the bounty hunter team during the fight to get them their contract, get them their payout, and recover health and protection. So let's back out of this fight. I'd like to save this team because it's durable enough to use for further explaining. DOG says you're like the Bill Nye the Science Guy, but Swugga. I love it. I love it. All right, let's take a look at our buddy Bossk because there's even more going on that we haven't spoken about yet. All right, we talked about his leadership ability. We talked about Predator instincts. Let's talk about his uniques. This one right here is one of the Zetas that I'm considering putting on. And there's only 15 minutes left in the stream, so I'm not going to make any rash decisions. We will save the Zetas for next stream, which is Friday, after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's not on Friday, but the point is, the day after Thanksgiving, I'll have another stream just like normal, and we'll apply the Zetas then. But without the Zeta, Bossk has 50% extra defense and 50% max health while he has taunt. So while Bossk is taunting, he's actually more difficult to kill because of all this extra defense. And he gains 50% offense and 50% health steal while attacking a buffed enemy. Now this health steal and offense is relatively insignificant because Bossk is not a big damage dealer. But the health steal will help him get his health back up to 100%. And why do you want his health to be at 100%? Because while he's at full health, he gains 100% defense. So you want him to be at full health as much as possible because he and all the bounty hunters get 100% extra defense while they're at full health. And then we'll look at his payout. We already looked at his payout. He recovers 5% health and protection at the start of his turn and 2.5% health and protection anytime any other bounty hunter starts a turn. So good. So he is a tank that is incredibly thick. He's incredibly difficult to kill because of all the extra defense. Whenever he taunts, he recovers 50% health, which is probably going to put him up to max health again, giving him all the extra defense. And then he has but even more defense, 50% more defense while he's taunting. And then this Zeta, which is something that I really want to put on him, this Zeta makes it to where he gains, whenever he loses taunt, so he taunts for 3 turns on his taunt. When he loses taunt, he gains it for 1 turn if the weakest enemy had protection. So if you start off the fight and you taunt, and then the enemy goes and they dispel your taunt, if you have this Zeta, the taunt would just pop right back up like it was never dispelled, unless they put buff immunity on you when you cannot taunt again. But it's kind of like Sun Fac's ship. You know how Sun Fac's taunt comes and goes. This is kind of like that. Bossk's taunt will keep coming back over and over as long as the weakest enemy still has some protection. So, and I haven't applied that Zeta. We could talk about that more on the future. We haven't spoken about its basic yet because it's not super impactful. It's kind of the move that you use whenever your other stuff is on cooldown. But it deals physical damage to the target enemy. If the target is the weakest enemy, this attack is guaranteed to critically hit. Once again, not a huge issue because he doesn't do a lot of damage. But if you're running a bounty hunter lead that the contract requires a certain amount of critical hits, then this will help. That it's guaranteed to get a crit if they're the weakest enemy. And then this right here, it deals double damage if the target is the weakest enemy, is his Omega. And I will put this Omega on eventually to help his ship. But once again, he doesn't do a lot of damage on his basic, so it's not a worthwhile Omega to make his character better. I don't think so. Now, how do you mod this bad boy, this monster of a character? How do you mod him? You might not be able to tell by how I've modded him, but you want to mod him for speed. You want him to be fast. Now, he is not a very fast character by himself, but almost all the endgame players are going to be running a speed set and a defense set on him, or a speed set and a health set, a speed set and whatever your fast mods are, because you want him to go fast. You want him to go fast because he starts off with his taunt, and then somebody else on your team uses a special ability, and then he comes right in behind him with that mass assist, and that gets huge progress on the contract right out of the gate. And then if just a fast Bossk, you guys, it's very difficult to deal with. It is very difficult to deal with. You want him taunting. While he's taunting, he's harder to kill. And with the team having all the health and protection regeneration, you're going to make your team really annoying if you make your Bossk fast. Leah is saying, does the Zeta make him a pre-taunt? It does not make him a pre-taunt. He does not pre-taunt with that Zeta. It only reinstates the taunt if he had it already. It comes back. After the payout is done, how do you know who is the weakest enemy? I don't know if it still shows the mark or not. I think while it's Bossk's turn, it still shows, but we will find out. We'll go into a galactic war battle and we will find out together. But the reason I have all defense on him is because I don't have any good speed mods. I just haven't farmed very much speed mods. So I've got speed arrow here. I've got protection with speed. That's the other thing you really want on Bossk, is you want protection. And the reason is because his leadership gives the whole bounty hunter team 50% extra protection, which means that you get way more bang for your buck for protection that you put on him than for health that you put on him. The other reason that you want to put more protection than health is because if you look here under his leadership ability, once again, the bounty hunter allies gain 100% defense while they're at full health. Well, if you have a ton of health and not much protection, you're going to be dipping down below 100% health a lot. You're going to not probably be killed because you have so much health, but you're going to be losing this 100% defense. You want to make sure that you stay in the protection while you're fighting. You want to put as much protection on as possible so that your protection, maybe when you get hit, you lose a quarter of your protection. You don't want to lose all of your protection and go into your health, because then you get really squishy really fast. You lose a bunch of defense. So you want to mod him for protection instead of health, which means here on the circle, if you have a choice between protection and health, you definitely want to choose protection, and you want to put as much speed on him as possible. A little bit of potency can't hurt because of his stun, but primarily you want the protection. Now, a lot of people... DOG saying doesn't show the weakest for other bounty hunter lead contracts as well, but you can usually make a fairly good guess. So DOG saying you can just guess based on who you see, who looks like they're the weakest. And yeah, you're right, you can make a fairly good guess most of the time. Now, a lot of people want to run Tenacity on Bossk because tanks with Tenacity are really hard to deal with. You can't debuff them if you put enough Tenacity on, and Bossk's leadership gives the bounty hunters extra Tenacity. So Tenacity is another fine option, but I personally find, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I personally find that just giving him even more protection for them to chew through probably works better than Tenacity. But just remember that I've got a protection primary here. If you want to go Tenacity, remember you got to go hard on Tenacity. And remember that he gets 50% extra from his lead, so you'd want to have Tenacity here. You'd want probably all of these to be Tenacity. But I just say screw the Tenacity, let him get debuffed. As long as he keeps taunting, it's fine. And he cleanses himself when he taunts anyway. So as long as it's not a stun or an ability block that he can't use his taunting ability, he'll cleanse himself from buff immunity, he'll cleanse himself from healing immunity, he'll cleanse himself from shock, a lot of other debuffs that would otherwise stop him, cleanse himself from daze. He can self-cleanse with his taunt, so I say just let him get debuffed and make him really hard to kill. Speed and protection are the name of the game for Bossk. A little bit of potency, like I said, can't hurt, and health can't hurt, but you really want to focus on protection and speed for Bossk. Now let's jump in here and let's find out for sure the answer to Leah's question about Bossk in this Phoenix squad battle. Okay. So we need to get to our contract, and then we need to see, does it still show? Now, one of the things that I've noticed is when I use the Phoenix squad, whenever Hera starts her turn, the word healthiest will shine over somebody's head because Hera gets a bonus when she uses her basic on the healthiest enemy. It's possible that the same thing will happen for Bossk. So let's just start with a basic here. Try to get to our contract. Get a taunt. Let's get a stun. See if we can get around to Bossk's mass assist. Keep going after the weakest enemy. Okay, so this should get our contract. Okay, now, Chopper is obviously the weakest enemy. Let's get back around to Bossk's turn. Now we're looking to see if the word weakest comes over Chopper's head. Let's just keep attacking somebody else. Okay, it's about to be Bossk's turn. You guys ready? We're gonna look and see if the word weakest. Let's go ahead and dispel Chopper. I didn't see if it came up or not. I don't think that it did. Let me know if you guys saw it as soon as the boss took his turn. I didn't see anything, and we have no indication here that Chopper is the weakest. But we could see, and this should be a guaranteed critical hit because of his basic, like we said. Let's see if we can cycle back around to Bossk one more time. I'm watching to see if the weakest comes. Yep, it did, right here. You guys saw it. Right here above his head, weakest. It showed right here. So you gotta be quick with the eyes. You gotta be quick with the eyes. It showed right over his head. As soon as Bossk started his turn, it showed the weakest over here. So this will be a crit for sure. Okay, so there we go. It doesn't show that blue symbol, but it does just have the word weakest. And I think that's the same way it happens with Hera. We're gonna go ahead and let him finish off this fight. I'll put it on auto. Why not? Why not? Yeah, Doji said it was there, so you saw it. Doji saw it. I'm not going crazy. And there we have a beautiful example of Bossk in action, the team ending with full health and protection, even on auto. Doji says it shows on his literal head. Well, there you go. That answers your question, Leah, and we'll sim the rest of this later. I wanted to do some territory battles. In fact, I wanted to, but we just don't have time. We just don't have time to do the territory battles. I was going to use Bossk and the bounty hunters in phase 1. We wouldn't have gotten very far, but we would have done a little bit. Let's just quickly talk about Bossk's ship, because you can't do a character spotlight on a pilot without at least mentioning their ship. Bossk's ship, the Houndstooth, really deserves a character spotlight all its own, so we don't want to steal too much of its thunder, but this ship is one of the hardest ships in the game to kill. It is a taunting tank that gains bonus protection every time you hit it, period. So if we look here, let's look at the max, because that's where most people are going to have it. Houndstooth gains 25% protection up. I said bonus protection, I'm sorry. I meant protection up. 25% protection up stacking for 2 turns whenever it takes damage from an enemy's attack. While it's not taunting, it has an extra 50% tenacity, which in Fleet, 50% tenacity is significant. It is a very strong deterrent to debuffs. 50% tenacity and gains 25% turn meter whenever another ally takes damage from an enemy's attack. So if you don't attack Bossk, he will get his turn very quickly, and then he will taunt, and then you have to attack him. Attacks that deal damage multiple times will not trigger these effects more than once. When Houndstooth loses taunt, it gains taunt for 1 turn if the enemy is breached. So his ship has the same kind of thing as his Zeta. Whenever he loses taunt, if there's a certain thing that happens, he will gain taunt back. So Houndstooth can inflict breach on the enemy with minus evasion on breached enemies. He can inflict breach on the enemy with this ability, and this is how he taunts. He gains taunt and inflicts breach, and as long as the enemy is still breached, he will perpetually taunt. He will just keep on taunting. It's a very good ship. He cleanses himself on his basic. This is one of the things I like about what CG does with ships. They try to put abilities on the ships that are similar to the character. Bossk can cleanse himself with his taunt. In this case, Bossk's ship can cleanse itself of debuffs on his basic. Houndstooth recovers 10% health protection if it has taunt. It's a very difficult ship to kill. It's a ship everybody should be going for. If you're not going for it, you should go for it. The Millennium Falcon requires it in order to... the Millennium Falcon requires 4 bounty hunter ships, and this should be one of them, I think, if you're going to unlock the Millennium Falcon. The Finalizer requires this ship to unlock. This ship itself is amazing. Bossk himself is an amazing character. If you're early game and you can possibly stand to farm one more thing, you're going to want to farm this ship. It's an amazing ship, and like I say, we'll have to do a little bit more in-depth look at it in the future. DOG says, just need bottom can use Geos versus regular dark side command mission. Let's just do it, you guys. It won't take us too long. It won't take us too long. We're already past our stream time, but it won't take us too long. You guys already finished this one, or you only took it to 2 stars? Let's see. It's already done, all the way to 3 stars. Amazing, Lowfall. Amazing, amazing. Okay, let's just check this really quick. 6 out of 6. And we'll check this really quick. 6 out of 6, okay. And we could use the Geos on one of these, and we'll use the Bounty Hunters on another one. Alright, let's do the bottom one. I don't know which one is right. Taunt all night, taunt till the break of dawn. Oh, DOG, you crazy, man. You crazy. Alright, let's go in here with Chum Bucket. Our under-geared bounty hunter team, we're going to go in here and try to get at least 1 wave. Now, these enemies are serious, you guys. These enemies are serious, but we're still going to see if the mechanics that we talked about can help to keep us alive. Wow, they are really going after that IG-88. Okay, we're going to start with a taunt. Start with a taunt. This is the weakest enemy. Now, I'm running this particular team for a lot of reasons. I want to try to get the contract. That's the goal. Whenever you're running a bounty hunter team, you're trying to get the contract. So I'm going to save my AoEs, anything that does damage to everybody, for when one of these enemies is taunting. That way we can get around them. Plus, I'm running Django and Boba Fett. With their bounty hunters resolve, they can get around taunts and still attack the weakest enemy. So we're going to have to put a big hit over here on this guy. And here we go. That was a special ability. Now Bossk gets his mass assist, and we get the full progress on our try to think of your words, Padawan. Contract. All right, so this should get the contract right here. A basic attack. Not quite. So now we have an AoE. We cannot attack the weakest guy, but we can AoE. This will give us a bunch of health and protection because it's an attempted debuff across the board. Plus, it will give us our contract. So we got our contract. We're going to dispel the taunting counterattacking tank. We got to get our music going again. My music lasts just long enough for my stream. There we go. All right, let's dispel Jedi Vanguard. Okay, we are going for the weakest enemy. See, the weakest just popped over his head again. Now, I don't want to get too into Jango's kit, but Jango's kit will lower the max health on a debuffed enemy. So let's try to do that. He resisted it, so it didn't go through. All right, we're gonna save Boba Fett's AoE because everybody's kind of healthy. Boba Fett's AoE is kind of a good oh crap button to push to kind of get a heal on the team. Most of these AoEs are that way. All right. Cannot heal him with healing immunity. There goes our first kill. All right, this is probably the next biggest target. Brian Thompson says, I'm heading out, but great stream, my friend. Go Lothal. Yes, sir. DOD says, you're crazy. Teaching I'm the most aggressive of condition. Tenacity off the charts, but attempts count. Yeah, definitely. Tenacity is off the charts on, what? Clone Captain? Okay, let's see if we can get a stun. Let's see if we can stun the Jedi Vanguard. No stun. Alright, just basics. I guess we're going for this guy. Let's go ahead and keep going for him. So far, we're hanging in there really nice. Let's hit that stagger. Big hit. Let's see if we can finish him off. Double tap. It's close. Alright, we need an emergency heal from Boba Fett. And another emergency heal from Jango Fett. Look at that. Back up and running, you guys. So get the taunt up. Alright, let's dispel that. Got the stun that time. Very nice. Now we're going to start thinking about the next phase, the next round. I don't want to use our special abilities. In fact, let's just put this on auto basic. This will take a minute. Remember, on the basics, we still get our health and protection back a little bit. Boba Fett was looking very sad there for a minute, but he's back up and running thanks to Bossk's leadership. We don't want this to go into the next phase with it on auto basic. Want to make sure we can start the next phase the way we want. Alright, that's one phase. We might get two. We might get two. Okay, gosh, we got some AoEs here. This is danger. Alright, we have a clone trooper medic. So once again, we're going to save our AoEs until we are wounded. It's kind of like an emergency heal. Let's try to focus down one of these clone sergeants. We don't want to take both of these AoEs. Can we get a stun? No. Alright, let's do the taunt. Armor shred on Bossk. That is not ideal. Okay, let's get a heal on Bossk. Nice big heal. Call the mass assist. This should help finish healing Bossk. Still quite a ways away from getting this first kill. Let's try to reduce his max health. Okay, it worked. No, I think it did say it was resisted. Alright, Bossk is looking rough. You guys remember Bossk is like gear 9 or something. He might be gear 10. He doesn't belong where we're trying to use him. But we, not going to stop us. Oh, things are going south. We got our first kill, though. Let's get an emergency heal. AoE, get a bunch of health and protection. See if we can get a stun on this guy. Oh, I completely forgot about the revive, you guys. Stupid me. Stupid me. That's all right. That is all right. Big hit here. Got him. Now let's take out the reviver. Obviously, that's who we need to go for next. Looking good. Let's save the emergency heal. We're not going to use his big hit either. Yes, the burning killed him. Excellent. We recovered from that nicely. It looks like we need another emergency heal. Let's hit an AoE, a bunch of debuffs. Go on the field. Can we get a stun? No stun. Another emergency heal. I love teams that heal through damage. I love it. because you're making progress on killing somebody and you're healing. All right, let's do this big hit. 22,000. This should finish him off. Come on. Yes. Okay. Jedi Sentinel. Another armor shred on Bossk, plus triple expose. We're in bad shape, you guys. That was a good heal. We're gonna use this ability. Inflicts quite a few debuffs. All right, staggering. Bossk is getting back up and running. Can we stun him? All right, let's just try to make it through the end with basics. Pretty sure we're not gonna get 3 phases, but it looks like we got 2, you guys. With our little baby bounty hunter team. See, this bounty hunter team, even with everybody else at gear 10 or 11, if we just had Bossk at Relic and we had his other Zeta to where he taunts constantly, we would be able to whittle these guys down eventually. All right, I'm going to do the mass assist because it will give us good healing. It's not necessary to get the kill, but trying to get Bossk as ready as possible for the next phase. DOG says Bossk underdog. Yes, sir. Oh boy. All right, we have somebody who's going to be giving us the debuffs. There's no revivers here. This is a tank. We're not worried about that. This is a healer. We're not worried about him. There's not a whole lot of damage here. Just this sharpshooter. Let's see if we can take him out. All right, let's get that taunt up, Bossk. And there goes the armor shred. All right, we need to dispel that. Perfect timing, Cad Bane. Perfect timing. Let's get a heal on Bossk. Very nice. Back up to full. Let's use our basic. We don't want to use an AoE in case we need it for an emergency heal. Oh, he went stealth. That's no good. Let's try to get a heal on Bossk. We'll do a mass assist here. See, it's not just the armor shred that's bad, but it's the exposes are really bad. Alright, I guess we'll just hit on Consular for the moment. Let's do an AoE to get some more healing on Bossk. Another AoE to get some healing on Boba. Because Boba's too squishy to take those hits. Oh no, he just one-shot him. Oh no. That's bad news. That's why we need to have that taunt, we need to have that taunt Zeta on Bossk. Lost our Cad Bane, which is bad because that's our Dispel on that tank. I guess Boba's still got a Dispel, but I just used it. This is falling apart, you guys. It's not over yet, but it's starting to fall apart. Oh, now we have the counter-attacking tank. Not good. And I don't have my Dispel because I used it. Maybe we can stun him. Almost certainly not. Well, we dodged, so... yeah, there goes Bossk. Doggone it. Alright, we can avoid the taunt with our 2 bounty hunters here that can avoid the taunt. Get a little heal. Let's go ahead and dispel this so we can do what we want. And so ends the Bossk character spotlight when he gets shot out of the world. Oh, and he goes stealth again, you guys. Doggone it. Oh, man. Let's get a heal. See, Bossk leadership ability is still working. Still working for us. Okay. Yeah, we don't have the sauce, you guys. We don't have the sauce. We're gonna put this on auto. Let them go ahead and die in dignity. But there you go, a showcase in a difficult game mode with undergeared bounty hunters because Bossk lead is nice. I mean, I guess we'll click over here just in case, right? Oh, and you had to go stealth again. I probably could have played this better. But long story short, we're going to get some more gear on Bossk, and he is going to help us get maybe a 3rd wave. And we still got 300,000 points for our guild. Plus, we have one more spot to run our Geos after the stream. You guys, I had a blast with you on the stream tonight. We didn't have any trouble on the stream. It was super fun. We had a roster spotlight, 2 character spotlights because you guys couldn't make up your mind on which one you wanted next. I stream every Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of days. And don't forget that Jesus loves you.